Hello, hello. Welcome to another amazing guest expert for the Embodied CEO Era. I'm so excited because Kylie and I were just having an amazing conversation before we jumped on, and I was like, man, we are vibing. We are going to have an amazing conversation today. So, Kylie, hello, hello, hello. How are you, my love?
Hello, I'm really well, thank you. I am so excited for this, as you know.
As you should be. I mean, it's going to be just an exciting interview. I'm just getting my phone up so that if
Hmm.
anybody has any comments or any questions while we are live, please feel free to chat. We are live in the Embodied CEO Era Facebook group. So those who are watching the replay and want to join into the Embodied CEO Era, we go live in there, and you can ask any questions that you want. I am also going to say, if you are watching the video, don't mind my nails. I've got paint all over my nails because, like I was just talking to Kylie, we're renovating in our house at the moment. We're getting new carpet and repainting basically 90% of our house. And so it's a bit intense. And this interview and this conversation is happening at the perfect time. I'm so excited. Okay, cool. So, Kylie, for
Yes.
somebody meeting you for the first time, how would you describe the work that you do?
Okay. Okay. So I work, well, I'm a declutter coach and I'm a professional organizer. And I help mostly it's high functioning driven women, like women who are in a professional position or they are like you and they're building their own business. Obviously, like attracts like. So they're women who are very capable. You know, they've got their life sorted in most areas. Um, they're very good at what they do. But the thing is that so many of them are very quietly overwhelmed by their homes. And this is something that I'm extremely passionate about. I was there myself once. I have always been, I've either been in the corporate world or I've had my own business. And it's one of those things that I am seeing more and more. So many strong and capable women are being beaten down by their homes. And so it's my passion and it's my goal to show and help as many women as possible how they can take back that control, how they can start creating a home that doesn't feel that way, doesn't feel overwhelming. It actually feels welcoming. It feels easy. It feels enjoyable to be in. I can see your eyes. Yeah. Sounds good, doesn't it? But it's
I'm
possible. So
literally
this
here
is the
going like,
thing.
yeah, my house is so freaking chaotic at the moment because of the renovation.
Yeah.
And it's
You
like
have a reason.
stressing me out so much. I'm like, said to my husband, like, I just feel so overwhelmed because
Mm.
there's just so much shit everywhere. And I can't stand it. Like and it's so crazy because it never used to bother me. Like clutter never used, I mean,
Yeah.
like clutter's clutter. What are you going to do? Like, especially when the kids were little, I was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know?
I
But
agree. Yeah.
when we started to do all the renovations, I said to my husband, I want especially our bedroom to be our space. Like
Yes.
I don't like obviously the kids can come in here and whatever. Like I'm not gonna say this is our bedroom, get out. But
Yes. Yes.
like I want it to be some place in our house that is just full sanctuary, like resort vibes in there. I want to make it beautiful for us.
And that's the key though, Megan, is like having it made and built for you and your relationship. That is key. You just hit the nail on the head. That's actually one of the spaces I start with when I'm working with a new client is we start with their bedroom.
Yeah,
And
right.
the reason I do that is because, well, first and foremost, it's the last place you see at night, and it's the first place you see in the morning. So you think about that. Oh, just see, I just got
Yeah,
goosebumps.
I got goosebumps as well. I was like,
Yeah,
I never thought
because
of it
you
like
think about,
that. Yeah.
no, it's setting yourself up, especially if you're starting out on this journey, it sets yourself up in the right way. Set yourself up knowing that you can do this. If you have that one space that you are starting the day in and closing the day out in, peaceful and beautiful and organized, it just gives you that sense of confidence before you even start the day. But it also gives you that sense of confidence that you can do this, you can keep going, and you can create. This can literally spread through your whole home.
I love
It's
that.
really powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, because like with the self-help industry and all that kind of stuff, it's like the energy and the frequency in which you go to sleep
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
guaranteed to be the energy and frequency in which you wake up, right? So if you go to sleep with
Correct.
these thoughts of, I'm at peace, I love who I am, that's going to be portrayed in your day, right? Because you're not
Yes.
wake up feeling like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not just a mindset thing, is it? It's like a whole vibe of waking up in really nice linen and having like,
Yes.
making your bed, knowing that when you walk in at night, it's like inviting for you. Oh, freaking
Yes.
light a candle
Yes.
in your room, love.
Exactly. But even right down to, clearing under your bed, that
Mm,
is massive. Like, so, so many people, and I was one of these people, we store things under our bed, especially if we're struggling for space.
mm,
But when that space is just crammed, literally crammed full of random bits and pieces or stuff or dust,
even dust.
that's a heavy weight that we are sleeping over the top of, and it's having an impact on exactly what you just spoke about. It's having that impact on us. It's impacting our sleep, it's impacting how we wake up, because the other thing too is when we go to sleep in a space that you described, that beautiful, clear, magical space that you've created that you love. Remember too that sleep is a very powerful time for programming in our subconscious, So if you are going to sleep with those thoughts, with that constant to-do list going around in your head, those feelings of anxiety and overwhelm because of all the things that you still have to do, or all the things that, you can see that are bugging you, that's feeding back into your subconscious. It's giving you more evidence of why you're not there. And
Mm,
that's not what we want. We want the opposite. We
mm,
want to start changing that, and we want to start reprogramming ourselves of not why we're not there. Look at how much I've done. Look at this beautiful room that I've created. I love being in here. All those kind of things are just reaffirming and helping you in the right direction.
yeah.
And
We
yeah, and I totally agree about dressing it up. 100%. I'm big on dressing up your room. I have, let me see, four, six. I have nine pillows on my bed, but I have a system.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do have a system. I bet you have a system for nearly everything.
I do. And I love it. I love it. Like when I walk into my room, I love it. It feels like I'm walking into a high-end hotel. Like I love
Mm.
it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking before when we were talking. It was like, is that one of the reasons why we love sleeping in hotels so much? Sometimes it's because it's like an
Hmm.
oasis from our life, and it's like everything's
Yes.
clean, generally.
Yes.
If you're
Yeah,
staying
and
in
you're
a
not
hotel,
you're
everything's
not
clean.
connected to anything. Yeah, nothing is your responsibility. So think of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
that way. Like nothing in that room is your responsibility. And then on top of it, it's been set up beautifully for you. It's literally welcoming you into this beautiful, clean, clear, gorgeous looking oasis. You can do that in your own home. It's,
Mm.
when you can see that you can bring that into your own home, that's when things start to change for the best.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
I just love that. This is such a good conversation. Um, because we've got no carpet at the moment, we've like been walking on concrete for like 4 weeks because
Mm.
council cleanup. So we ripped up all the carpet from council cleanup and got rid of that so that like
Yeah.
one less thing to have to worry about, but also we're now
Yes.
walking on concrete for a bloody month. But yeah, I've been writing like Bible verses and all these like good feeling thoughts on the concrete so that when
Oh,
the
I love
carpet
that.
goes over the top, it's like, yeah, I wonder if there's like um some intention or something like that that we can write down to put between our mattress and our bed frame just to set that.
That's, yeah, that's a beautiful idea. I've actually done something very similar. I have a little intention written, and it's just in a little white square, and I've got a red ribbon tied around it. And it actually sits under my front door mat.
Yeah,
And
right.
I only pull it out when I have the cleaner come, but it sits there, and it's an intention in relation to welcoming in things into the home, positive things, prosperity, all of that kind of thing. So I hadn't even thought about the bed. I think that is an absolute beautiful idea. And I love that you're doing that underneath what will be your new flooring, because that will always be there.
Yeah, yeah. When we were
Mm.
in Egypt, they when you go into churches, you can get these little bottles of holy oil. They just
Yes.
they just give it out to you. Sometimes you have to buy it or you give a donation or whatever, but generally they just give
Yeah.
you all this like oil that's blessed. So like,
Yes.
oh, maybe I might spill a little bit of that
Yeah. Yeah. I think
underneath
that's
the door
brilliant.
frame or something like that near the carpet there as well. So yeah, cool. And then it just kind of seeps out and seeds through the rest of the house.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And that the energy and the vibration of that just coming up through the floor and affecting every single person in your house. That is really powerful. So I love that idea and 100% agree that you should do that.
I got the tick of approval from Kylie. That makes me so happy. Yeah, so when you start in the bedrooms mostly for with your clients,
hmm
and then like what other areas are the main kind of spaces that you like to work in?
Well, I'm always led by my clients. So I don't, when I work with clients, it's very personalized. And I
Mm,
think this is one of the things that's missing in this particular industry is there's a lot of stuff out there about decluttering. And I find this because I did it myself. I did. I watched the YouTube channels. I bought the courses. I did all the things. And they're very generic. And so that's why when I work with a client, it's one-on-one. We work with them. We work in with their lifestyle. We work in with their situation, their family. And so I allow them to lead me to where we need to work next. I start with the bedroom because that's setting up that constant daily affirmation that they can do this and this is how it's going to feel.
mm,
Generally, we're going to move into an area where there isn't as many sentimental items. So
right.
that typically would lead you into, it could be the office space, it could be the kitchen, the laundry, like, items. You just think about rooms that there's not a lot of sentimental items. We're not starting with the spare room. That is
Because
that is a no.
you literally read my thought then, because I was like, oh, my spare room. Yeah.
No,
That's
no,
what
you
I
need to
thought.
have some,
Yeah,
yeah,
I thought my spare
it's
room.
like
I'll think about it later room. It's like anything that goes in there is like, oh, I'll think about that later. I just can't do without
exactly. And
something. So,
because of that, there is such a huge mix in there, I have no doubt, like a
mm,
massive mix. So when you step in there, from an invisible point of view, like just I used this the other day with I did a workshop on the weekend and I used it with the ladies. I said, like when you walk into a room where you literally just put anything and everything in there, it's like you've walked in and there is multiple lassos being thrown at you and
mm,
they capture you, like the ropes sit down on you, you've got all these ropes down you, and then all those lassos are being pulled in every direction. That is not an enjoyable decluttering experience, I can tell you now. So, like, I like to take my clients through a warm-up process, like
yeah,
getting
I
them
love
into
that.
the flow.
You don't just go, right, does this bring you joy? Yeah, well,
I
at one
know.
stage it did, and like that's all to me, that feels like the too hard basket. I'd rather just
Yes.
have the clutter than have to go through this emotional roller coaster.
Oh, it
Oh,
doesn't work.
yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. And, my biggest thing when I'm working with clients is how can I actually make them see that this doesn't have to feel like another job or chore?
Mm,
One thing that I'm very, and I again did this for myself. I can't stand housework. I'm the first one to admit it. I cannot stand
Oh,
it. I am like, I turn
hallelujah.
into a witch.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for saying that because,
Mm,
yeah, I feel like that as a declutter coach, like, how do you not like housework, but you like that clean space? So how do you balance, like, I hate housework, and also I want a
hmm
really clean house, and also I don't want to have to constantly be paying somebody else to do it for me. So how do you, like,
mm.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing that I think people get confused. It's like a gray area. So cleaning a house and tidying up is 100% different to decluttering. And I think sometimes people get that there's a blur there.
Mm,
That's like the decluttering is what makes the tidying and the cleaning so much easier
yeah.
and simple. So, like when we are tidying and cleaning, all we're doing is we're being controlled by our stuff. Like if you feel like you're I guess because of my deep dislike for cleaning and chores, that's what led me down this path. It was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so when you start to purposely reduce the things around you, when you start to really look clearly at everything that you have around you, it changes everything because simple things like having a home for everything, it takes less energy to put something away than it does to leave it out. And the reason that is when you leave something out, you've just given permission to anything, for, anything to literally gravitate towards that pile.
Mm,
And that makes that whole process harder and harder and harder. Whereas it takes you 2 seconds without much, you don't even have to think. When you know where things are, you don't even have to think. You just put it away. When you need it, you go and grab it. It's so easy.
mm,
So the less, and this is not, look, I'm not a minimalist. I am not a minimalist. I love having beautiful things around me. I'm very conscious about the things I have around me. As long as they make me happy, they get to stay,
yeah.
and it's an energetic thing.
Mm,
You would know what I'm talking about here. Like, if there's one thing in your house that you don't love, or, it was a gift is a really good example. If you gifted something that was a really lovely thought, but it's not you, and you
mm,
feel obliged to keep it. I have one of these. We had a wedding gift like this for 11 years. 11 years. I look back on that now.
yeah.
And ironically, it was a heavy statue. And that heavy statue weighed on me way more than I realized. And the day that I let that go, I can't express in words how amazing I felt.
I can feel it. It was like a biggest relief to, we have this, like, I love my mother-in-law, but she's very ethnic. Okay,
hmm
Egyptian, so very ethnic. Love her
Yeah.
to bits, and her taste is opposite to mine. And for a wedding present, she bought us a picture of Mary, Virgin Mary, in
Yeah.
this hideous photo frame. And I held on to that. Like, I've been married for 22 years. I held on to that because, like I said to you before, I had so much pain in my body. I just couldn't think about things.
Yeah.
And then when we were decluttering and getting rid of some stuff, my husband picked that up and I was like, I hate that thing. I hate it. And he's like, yeah, right. I said, I love the picture of Mary in it. She's like, I just love the
Yeah.
Virgin Mary so much.
Yeah.
But that frame is hideous. And he goes, well, let's get rid of the frame then. You don't have to throw out the whole thing. I was like,
Yeah. That's
like, I
right.
wasn't able to think that way. And
Mm,
throwing out that hideous gold thing, even though it was in the spare room, it wasn't like in my visible sight. Every time I
mm.
looked at it, I would cringe. So we took the thing out, and now we're like going to put a nice frame. Like, yeah. So it's like,
And that's really powerful.
I'm holding
Like,
on to that thing.
yeah, that's so you just used the right words. Like you cringed every time you see it. Like so that's heavy. That's a heavy
Mm,
weight. And so that's just one item, Imagine if you've got multiple items in your home that make you feel like that. And that's why, my whole goal is to help women love their homes again and to
Yeah.
love your home, you need to be surrounded by things that give you the opposite feeling. You know, for me, it's indoor plants. I'll admit I went a little bit overboard with that once because yeah, you get all the babies and the cuttings and but that was okay. I'm fully aware. I'm very aware of when it's too much. And so I was able to then move them on in the form of gifts. So now I have my indoor plants at the right level. I don't know if you can see it. I think which side is it on? This side, I've got these really beautiful salt and pepper shakers. Love them. They're perfect colors for me. They make me smile. Like it's just little things like that. Like, does it make you feel good? This is,
Mm.
I'm not a Marie Kondo. I don't do the Marie Kondo method, like hold everything, you know, tell it, how does it make you feel? Does it bring you joy? I don't do that. We don't have time for that. And really, the women I work with do not have time for that.
Yeah.
But when you just literally turn on your radar, you can do it as you go. So when you start to become aware of how everything is making you feel,
Mm.
there's none of this asking, does it bring you joy? It's like literally noticing the things that don't make you feel good, like the frame, the frame around the Virgin Mary. Like that's a classic example. And then I'm sure when you go away from this call, absolutely 100% sure that you will be walking through your home with new radar,
Yeah,
with
I
new
bet.
eyes.
Yeah, all our furniture is not just going to go back. Nothing is just going to go back. It's going to be like, but do we need that? No.
Mm,
Am I
yes,
attached to that
yeah.
in any way? Because if I am attached to something that is ridiculous, maybe we need some detachment.
And also you're upgrading, like you're literally upgrading your home. And when you bring in old things, particularly things that you've had for a very long time, that potentially belong to a version of you, who knows how many years ago, when you bring them into that fresh and upgraded feel, it just instantly downgrades that feel. So
Mm.
this is a really good time to be conscious about that. Like, and
Yeah.
what do I want to bring back into this fresh new feel and what do I not? What am I ready to let go of because that's part of an old version of me and I'm up leveling?
Yeah.
Mm,
Actually, when you said that, there's this I don't know, like a hall stand type thing.
yep.
And we got it very, very cheap when we first got married, and there's just God knows what in those drawers.
Yep.
And my husband actually said to me, does that have to go back into the house? And I was like, well, then what are we going to put there? Was my first
Mm.
instinct.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I hate that thing too. Hate it.
There
There's
you
not even
go.
runners on the drawer. So every time you open the drawer, bit of wood
Yeah.
shavings fall onto the floor. It's like, what have we been putting
Yeah.
up with all these years? Like that's
And
20
also,
years.
you
Oh,
know, I was going to say, you also said you don't know what's in there. Who knows what's in there? It could be a matter of literally going through the drawers and what's in there and realizing very quickly and very clearly you don't actually need anything to replace that because what was in there you haven't looked at for ages. You don't need it. You don't need to be storing that stuff. Like, this is so decluttering. I'm just going to quickly emphasize here, like,
yeah, please.
I see decluttering as a lifestyle change.
Mm, it's
I don't
always,
see it. So this is the reality, is that the stuff doesn't stop coming in.
mm,
So when you declutter, all the extra things don't stop coming in. That's just part of life. And you've got a family. You can't control what your husband brings in, what your children bring in. But you can start adopting a new lifestyle in relation to how you deal with stuff as it comes in. And I think,
yeah,
this came up in the workshop I did on Saturday, which was based around paperwork, and this applies to anything, is that we are all, or most of us are literally on autopilot when it comes to our homes.
yeah,
We're not
100%.
actively thinking. Yeah, and that's a big, big thing.
Mm,
And so yeah, decluttering is a lifestyle change. It's the same as if you're changing a diet to live a better life. It's the same if you're wanting to move your body more and you're starting out with new exercise. You don't just do them in 6 weeks or 12 weeks or 6 months and then it stays for the rest of your life. It becomes a new habit. And
Mm.
so it's about putting in the little things, the systems to actually make the whole thing easy. And the longer you do it, it does. It becomes easy. I can testify myself, and I've got multiple clients who've done it for themselves as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Do you have a link for that workshop if anybody is interested in watching it? Is there like a link?
No, it was so that workshop was in person, so I did that
Oh,
locally.
okay. Yeah,
But
right.
but
Cool.
what I do have, which I will give you, is I've got a link for my private community. I have a community on Facebook,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
that community is where anything and everything that I'm doing, I talk about, I bring to the forefront. I have just started doing, it's a series of 5 workshops that I'm doing here locally.
Mm-hmm.
I've just completed the second one, and I can already see that that will then become, and I'll be offering that as an online because my community is global. I've got people in there from
Yeah,
all over the world. And so they've just been going so well and received so beautifully
yeah,
that
imagine.
it's just natural that they need to go online. So yes, that's the community is where it's all happening.
Okay, perfect. So if you can send me that link and then I'll put it in the description of the video so that if anyone
Yes,
wants to get in contact with you or wants to go into that community,
absolutely.
amazing. So what is your favorite thing about what you do?
So many. I think the favorite thing about what I do is when we spoke about it before, is when women literally get the bug, like when they start to feel it, when they come on a call to me and they're like, oh my gosh, Kylie, like I did this, I achieved it. That's like, let's start with the bedroom. Oh my bedroom. I love my bedroom. I've never felt like this about my bedroom. So when they actually feel it and they get the bug and they know that without a doubt that this is the life they want, they know that this is what they want to do. And they realize it doesn't have to be, like I said before, it doesn't have to be a chore. It actually can be enjoyable. And then second most favorite thing is watching them grow as an individual. So when I'm working with someone, they don't see it like I see it. I'm sitting here on the other side and I see them change their whole look, the way they see things, the way they see life, everything changes about them. And
Mm,
that is really powerful. I reckon that's, yeah. I said that was the second thing. That's probably the first thing that I love is watching them physically and mentally change in every way, shape, and form. It's just so beautiful.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, because like I said to you before, especially when the kids were little, I didn't like we had a very small house.
Hmm.
And so when two or three things were out of place, the whole house just looked crazy messy. I had
Yes.
little pockets throughout my house of the I'll think about it later, like think about it later drawer, I'll think about it later room, I'll think about it later under the bed, I'll think about it later
Yeah.
in the top of the wardrobe where nobody can see,
Hmm.
so our house looked clean enough, but
Yes.
then there was all
Yep.
this undercurrent of things. And then like it didn't bother me a lot because I think
Hmm.
out of sight, out of mind. But now that I'm like actually energetically aware, like now moving into this house, we've been here for 11 years, finally painting and finally getting this carpet done.
Yes.
I just like I had in my head at the beginning of this year, no more clutter. We're not doing clutter anymore. And I think potentially now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it was orchestrated by God, source, universe, that
Hmm.
I'm going to create this chaotic experience of changing the carpet and painting so that you can see how much shit that you have like hidden
Yes.
away that's actually energetically affecting me more than I realize. And now it's
Yes.
all laid out for me. It's like, do you feel like that affects like all these other different parts? Like you said, like people start to get a little bit more mentally clear, and they start to look differently in themselves and potentially behave differently. Like, do you feel like that just affects then also business and magnetism and all that kind of stuff as well?
100%, Megan. Like, I just have to look at my own life. If I just look at me as an individual and like, you just described me to a T. So I had the same. I had a home where if anyone came over, it looked very put together, always. And so when I started doing this, a lot of my close friends couldn't understand. But what they didn't know was what I had behind closed doors. And that actually is having more of an impact than you realize, So, and it's interesting that you said before. So something that you said before was that it didn't really affect you before. And that is true as well. It doesn't affect a lot of women because they're not aware. And like this is the thing too, is we're not actually ever taught how to declutter. We're taught how to tidy, we're taught how to clean, and we're also taught very, very easily how to consume. But no one has ever actually taught us how to declutter. And that's the missing piece. And so, that's really powerful in relation to like knowing that. It's really powerful because when you said like, it didn't bother you, what happens generally, and not generally, it's going to happen to everyone. And I've seen it happen sometimes too late. At some point in life, if you don't face it and you don't deal with it, it's going to be very difficult. So, examples can be, so some examples are like, I've just had a client recently who she's just finished cleaning up her mother's home who passed away, lived in the house for 55 years, was very traumatic and very, very difficult. So it may not affect you, but it will affect someone. So if you don't deal with it, it's going to affect someone. I've had other women who have had to uproot their lives and just pack everything into boxes for various reasons. One in particular, she put everything into a storage shed because she couldn't fit it into the home that she was living in. And the storage shed got flooded. And so we went through that, and that was heartbreaking because there were some precious sentimental items that were destroyed. And so, I am here. My mission is to stop women from getting to that point.
Yeah.
Getting to the point where they are on autopilot. It hasn't been affecting them. But I'm here to wake them up and go, but it will affect you one day. You've got to take control. Otherwise, what you have in your home will continue to accumulate and accumulate and grow and grow. And then as we move into, the different seasons, so as we move out of the season of being a mother and raising our children, and then coming back to that stage in our life when it's just you and your partner, or you on your own, you've got all these goals and ambitions. Like, I don't know about you, but me, I want to travel more. Like I traveled a lot before we had my son, and we want to travel again. And we've got big goals. Now, if you have too much stuff, probably without even realizing it, it's literally going to hold you back. If you have too much stuff, it becomes really difficult to sort that stuff out, or it mutes you. It doesn't give you the space to even think or dream about those things that you want to do. So, it's having a bigger impact on us than I think most of us realize. And I hope just even through this interview, I hope that even if there was one woman watching, I know it's already happened to you.
Yeah.
But even if there was one woman watching and she just went, oh my gosh, yes, and she starts to make that change, then my work here is done.
Yeah. There's something that I know to be 100% true. So if you are feeling stuck or stagnant in any area of your life, if you move 5 items in a room, it changes the energy and the frequency of the room straight away. So whenever I'm feeling
Absolutely.
stuck, like, just can't think beyond what is currently presenting itself. And I honestly believe we're not meant to think our way out of a problem. We're meant to feel what's right.
Yeah.
And in any of those moments, I will even like just pick up the cup from one side of the table and put it on the other side of the table. Like if you move 5 items around your room,
Yes.
it just changes everything. So it's like, imagine just cleaning out one drawer in a room,
Yes.
and then you're
Yes.
doing like 100 things at this. But it's like, imagine, like, just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not affecting you, right? So imagine just cleaning out one drawer and what kind of effect that will have.
That's exactly, and that is my whole philosophy. It's, it's not about doing it all in one hit because that does not work and it's not sustainable.
Mm,
It is about one thing at a time, one drawer, and make it beautifully organized and set up so that you don't even have to think, you know exactly where everything is. Containing things is really powerful. So, if it's a surface top, you could bring in a beautiful basket, like kitchen bench, for example. You could bring in a beautiful basket or a tray of some sort, and that's where your sunglasses, your wallet, and your keys go. And you've just contained it. That is going to make a really big difference. Opening your utensils drawer, you could pull out
don't even get me
five
started on
utensils.
my utensils.
Yeah, I know. See, there's not a lot of sentiment there, and it's a really, really easy place to potentially move on 5 items.
Yeah,
So yes,
5 items.
small things, yeah, 5 items and small things on a regular basis. Like when you get into the momentum of it, when you get inspired by creating that space, for example, in your bedroom. So you talk about one surface top. So if there's one thing that I want to leave in this interview today, we spoke about starting in the bedroom and the power of that. Instead of looking at the whole bedroom, start with your bedside table.
Mm,
Create, like clear and create your bedside table to be purposeful, like set it up beautifully, set it up with the things that you use, things that make you happy, and clear the rest. That is really powerful because, again, your bedside table is right next to where you're sleeping.
mm,
First thing you see in the morning, last thing you see at night. That's a really beautiful place to start.
mm. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I started leaving my phone in the lounge room when I go to bed,
Yes.
is because I don't want to wake up and see the phone sitting there straight.
No.
I want to be able to breathe and have like some space.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really
Yes.
powerful. Amazing. I love that. So what are you offering at the moment?
So mine is an ongoing offer. So I encourage people to come into my Facebook community because that's a really great place to find inspiration, to be sorted, like not sorted, to be supported. Well, to start to get sorted.
Kind of
So
still
it's
keeps
a
the
really,
conversation.
yeah, yeah. It's a really supportive and encouraging environment that I've built. I'm so proud of it. I love the women that are in there. It's not just me constantly telling you things and sharing things. It's literally other women who are in the same boat. Some are more forward than others. Some have done the things, some are still doing it. I'm always showing up doing live trainings. It's got everything you need in it if you're serious about making this happen. I'll drop little mini challenges for you to do, and it's back to doing like, what's that one thing you can do today?
Mm,
What's something simple? And then from there, like, that's a great place to get to know me better. And I feel like that's really important. It's an important part of the whole process. And if you feel drawn to, or if you are ready for like some serious one-on-one personalized support, then my ongoing offer is come and have a free chat with me. It's a 30-minute chat where we actually sit down together and we work out where you're at and what moving forward would look like for you. And then we go into, if it's all good and you love what you're seeing and you're excited, then we move into one-on-one weekly coaching where we catch up online once a week. So I do work with women from anywhere, which is just
amazing.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah. So that's it. It's working with women one-on-one, working with them to work through their homes, and most importantly, set them up so that we can create that decluttered lifestyle, set them up with systems so that it's easy for them to be able to maintain the good work they do. That is the key. It's not anyone can declutter, But the key is to have it set up so that the clutter, yes, while it still comes in, it can be controlled, it can be maintained. You can actually get it to a level where everything feels so much easier.
Yeah, amazing. So is that
Hmm.
how people get in contact with you, is through that community to start with? What's it called?
Yes, yeah. It's called Declutter Your Home with Kylie. And I'll send you the link. So I'll send you the
Yeah,
link for that.
sounds super easy to get in contact with you, and sounds super easy. And that's the thing, like, I feel like your whole brand is about making things easier for yourself. Like, you have a
Absolutely.
specific drawer, like what you were saying before we even jumped on was like batteries. Like,
Yeah.
client was like, well, I got this thing and I knew exactly where the batteries were and I got the batteries and then I threw the other thing out. Like, one thing that drives me crazy about my husband, I love my husband so, so much, but one thing that drives me crazy is he will open up the mail and put the empty envelopes in with the paperwork that we need to keep. And I got to go through the
Yes.
paperwork to get out all the envelopes. And I go, why don't you just create two different piles? And he's like, oh, I don't know. But his parents would keep everything. Like, his parents have still got, like, we went through
Mm.
all this paperwork with his mother after his father passed away. And I'm like, why is there so many empty envelopes here? And she's like, I don't know. They all go together. It's paper.
Yeah, and that's being on
Okay, love, I
autopilot.
love you. And also, you don't have to keep the envelopes.
And that's something I
Recycle
do
them.
too. Yeah, exactly. But that's something I do is I work with women. So we start with you, it's always starting with you, because if change is not going to happen unless you lead by example.
Yeah.
But we do work. We do then we go into the family. We get them involved, but we do it in, again, everything I do is about simplicity and strategy. It's about making it as easy as possible for them.
Mm.
And there are so many little ways, little things, little tweaks that you can put into your home to make that happen. Like it's possible. I've trained both my boys very well.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. I said to my husband, can you just like look through the mail near the recycling bin so that when you open
Yeah.
the envelope can just go straight into the recycling bin? I never thought to do that.
You might need to
Amazing.
put a label up somewhere for a while as a reminder.
I'll put like white chalk where footmarks are near open mail here to allocated
Exactly.
mail opening section of the house.
Oh,
That is
look,
so funny.
I've had clients who've done something similar and they've literally done it in a way that makes them happy by they've printed something out really nicely and then they put it in a beautiful frame and put it on the bench top. But it's purely a reminder for someone else in their family to do something. But for them, it looks nice. So you can be creative.
Yeah, there's no need for post-it notes all through your house.
No.
Put the shit in the bin.
I wouldn't recommend post-it notes. They can get very unruly.
My house would just be covered in them. Kylie, amazing, amazing, amazing. I've had so much fun talking to you, and I've learned a lot too. So I'm definitely going to be joining your community. I can't wait for that. So I have a question that I ask all the guest experts, and it's a very intense question, but I know that it'll be easy for you because you already know what you do, you know how you do it, and all the rest of it. So,
Yeah.
what is your biggest hope for humanity?
Oh, again, goosebumps. I think my biggest hope for humanity, starting with women, is to learn how to slow down and really just enjoy the relationships they have right in front of them. Like build and nurture those relationships to find and make the time to do the things that we love. Like that's my biggest wish, is we all need to slow down. We're all so busy, 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 and there are so many simple things we can do to change that. It's again, I was that person.
Hmm.
Busy, it's ingrained in us. But yeah, just to slow down and really put the time and effort into the things that matter. And there's so many of those. And for me personally, the most important thing that matters is my relationships. And I'm going to say quickly, like, decluttering my life has strengthened the relationship I have with my son and my husband beyond what I ever would have imagined. Like it's just, I feel so grateful and I'm so, so blessed with what I have. And that's what I wish for every single woman out there. I really do.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah,
Mm.
what came to mind when you said that was like there's this whole kind of I don't even know what to call it, like I don't even know what to call it, but this idea, let's just use idea, is of
Yeah.
stewardship, right? So is stewardship. So if you are in a smaller house, for instance, or you're not in your ideal house and you're
Hmm.
there and you're stressed out about wanting a bigger house, like I want this property, I want this thing, and it's good to want things, like that's what's
Mm.
ingrained in us so that we do have
Yes.
drive and determination. But it's like if you want to have that ideal thing and you are currently not treating your own environment and stewarding it and looking after it and taking care of what you have, then you're
Yes.
never going to get that better or what you perceive as a better thing because you're so
Yes.
like it's stressing you out. Like, and it's like as soon as you like I was saying to my husband, like I want to start treating this house not just as a house that's like an interim house of, it's not quite what we want,
Mm.
but it's okay for now and that kind of thing. And actually really start loving the house and
Yeah.
loving where we are and loving this environment. And I feel like that's going to open up flow into something that we do want.
And sometimes, so this is really powerful. So sometimes what you think you want doesn't end up being what you actually want. And you don't know that until you start creating space and you start, like what you just said, you start appreciating and being grateful for what you have around you. And I say that I worked with this client, and when I first started working with them, their goal was exactly what you just spoke about. They had a beautiful home by the beach and they wanted something bigger and better. But when we started decluttering, something shifted and changed. So we didn't, I also love a touch of interior design. So I'm very much on board with helping clients not just declutter, but setting their home up so it does feel amazing, like they love it. And that's exactly what happened with these clients. And we literally cleared space and we created that beautiful home around them, they started to see clearly that they didn't need to upgrade their home
Mm.
because we had cleaned out, reshuffled, decluttered, organized so much that what they thought they needed was right there in front of them under the stuff. And so they went from looking at spending, I think it was like about $800,000 on a renovation. They are still doing some form of renovation, but it's completely 100% different. And it's come down to like 250 or 300,000.
Right.
And because they don't need all the things that they thought they did, because literally it was under the stuff. It was right there in front of them. It just needed to be rejigged and shifted. And so I think you're right. We are conditioned to wanting more, but it's all part of manifesting, isn't it, really? Like until you can appreciate and love what you have in front of you, you're literally blocking the more that you want. And again, just like manifesting, it's not until you clear the way that it becomes clear what you actually want deep down.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there's another masterclass or something for you there. The the clarity underneath the stuff, all the stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be an amazing masterclass. Now that would get through to a lot of women.
Yeah, all the yeah, the clear clarity underneath all this stuff that you have that you actually
Mm,
don't need. Yeah,
yeah.
amazing. Thank you so much, Kylie. Thank you for spending your time with us and yeah, like that replay, I reckon, is going to go crazy.
Thank you. I have loved this. I love, 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 as you can tell, talking about this and just sharing what I can to help people start to see what they're missing out on and how it can be simple. It can be done in an easy way. It does not have to be hard.
Yeah,
There,
yeah. I think that
yeah.
whole decluttering thing, the way it's been taught seems is so stressful. And all those shows and stuff like that are like declutter your home shows and all that kind of stuff is probably
Mm,
like you see people literally bawling their eyes out on the floor because they're
mm,
trying to force them into getting rid of something that they clearly are not ready
yeah.
for. And it's like, yeah, it gives it all a bit of a bad rap, doesn't it?
I can't watch those shows because I know how they're feeling. And not only that, the ones where they take them out of their homes, they send them off on a beautiful holiday. And what they bring them back to is not their home.
Mm,
And that's too severe.
mm.
That's not sustainable and it's too severe. And that's yeah, it breaks my heart because I see those, you see those tears, and I think some people are like, oh, they're just so happy. And it's like, mm, no, they're feeling a lot of loss right now.
Yeah, they're smiling for the cameras, that's all. Yeah, I think it's like
Yeah,
I think the way you do it is more so about nervous system regulation throughout the decluttering. It's not just
absolutely.
about the stuff, it's about your nervous
Yes.
system. Yeah, amazing, amazing, great conversation. Thank you so much. Like, I really, really appreciate it. And I've loved this. And my husband's just bought me in a cup of tea, which is the best ever.
Good man.
Thank you. Manifested that one. Um, Amazing. So, yes, if you want to get in contact with anything that Kylie has said to you has resonated, please get in contact with her. Like, I'm so grateful for this conversation. And yeah, love your energy, love you, love what you stand for. And yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. And again, if you want to get into the Embodied CEO era, please join in with, like, I'm doing live readings in there, live mini trainings every week or so in there as well. So please join in there. Thank you, Kylie. Love you lots.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been wonderful. Bye.
Bye.